We are back with another episode of the Amanda Fest podcast where our mission is simple. It's to inspire and empower you to take aligned action towards your dream life, whatever that looks like for you. Today, we have another solo episode where I fill you guys in on my journey as I step into my dream reality. But as we've done with every episode, before we dive into this one, we're just going to take a quick moment to ground. So, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, if it's safe to do so, I invite you to close down your eyes. I like to put a hand on my heart and one on my belly just to connect to the here and now, remind myself I am in my body, I am present, I am safe. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time, quick grounding today, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Shake it out, do what you gotta do. Welcome back, guys. So if you tuned into the last solo episode, I basically put an entire month's worth of stories, lessons, wisdom, all the things packed into one episode. There was so much that went down last month. This episode's going to be a little shorter, a little sweeter, not as much action, but as I was kind of reflecting upon my last few weeks, it's so funny when I sit there and go, I don't know, I don't have anything to talk about. I don't know what I'm going to share. And I go, actually, yeah, I do. I've essentially been using these solo vlogs as an opportunity to share in real time what it looks like as I step into my own dream reality, right? On these other episodes, I'm having guests come on. They're talking about their stories. While I'm in the process of mine, I get to share with you a little behind the scenes of what this really looks like in actuality. And so this is what my last couple of weeks have been. So last episode, I was in Chicago. I have since left. I think that next day after I recorded, I hopped on a plane and came back to New York City with no real reason to be in New York other than just feeling called to be here at this moment in this time. I spent all of July in New York City and it was so nourishing. I felt like I was building so much momentum that it really felt aligned to come back and just ground. As I mentioned in my last episode, my word for September was and is, because we're still in September, discipline. After a month of movement and travel and lots of romance and craziness, I was like, I just want to ground and lock in and really set myself up for success for this last chapter of the year. We have September, October, November, December. We got 4 months left. We're almost at the end of September. So we've got 3 months left to really lock in and make some big shifts as we step into 2026. And so that's exactly what I did. This month has been not as action-packed as last month, which I'm grateful for, but it's really been about dropping into routine and settling into some version of normalcy as somebody who has been nomadic since May of 2023, moving around constantly, never in my own space. It has just been such a blessing to be in one spot for the last few weeks, to really get to ground down, give my nervous system the opportunity to reset, to breathe, to focus. And it's been great. What have I been doing? What are the things that have been supporting me in this grounding? The last year or so, I have really been enjoying waking up in the morning, getting out in nature, moving my body. That has become a non-negotiable for me wherever I am, whatever I'm doing. It helps me to ground and stay present. I kind of took it up a notch this past month as I'm focusing on getting back on track with my health and feeling good in my body. And so every morning I've been doing this super long walk in Central Park. I've been averaging about 20,000 steps a day, basically the entire month, which has been wild. In addition to that, just adding on some health mindfulness, I have brought back my practice of intermittent fasting, which is something that is really helpful for me when I am working on focusing on my health. I tend to snack, and so when I'm intermittent fasting, it supports me with intentionality in terms of when I'm eating, and especially if I'm going long periods of time without eating. When I do have my eating windows, I'm much more inclined to desire nutrients, and I'm craving nutrition because because I'm hungry. And so I've been practicing intermittent fasting this entire month, which has been incredible. And essentially, my goal with all of these shifts and changes, these lifestyle upgrades, is to feel good in my body as I've been traveling. That has definitely been an area that I feel like I've been neglecting and just sort of putting on the back burner and avoiding, and just being really present and indulging and enjoying wherever I am and whatever's in front of me. And I haven't felt good in my body in quite some time now. And as I'm looking towards, November is my birthday, I turned 31, then there's New Year's. I have an action-packed lineup for 2026. Lots of it involves being in tropical locations where I know I'm going to want to be in itty bitty bikinis and feeling confident and strong and good in my body. And so I'm starting the process of getting back into healthier habits and doing it right. I've definitely had a history throughout my life of falling into unhealthy habits with eating and exercise, and I really want to come back into my embodiment, feeling strong, feeling good, especially as I'm stepping into this next chapter of leadership. I have this really clear knowing that getting my physical house in order, feeling confident in my body, feeling strong, feeling healthy, taking good care of myself, being intentional in that area is only going to enhance my discipline in all of these other areas of my life that I am really excited to up level with. And so that has been a big part of this past month. It's been a big focus. It's been challenging for sure. I've done lots of crash diets and unhealthy things in the past where I've dropped weight and sort of transformed my body very quickly, but it wasn't in an intentional and sustainable way. And so with this, I am intending to do it much more intentionally. And with that, it's slower. And I'm the type of person I notice in every area of my life. I just desire to speed things up. When I'm starting something, I want it to go faster and I want to be there already. And this is really teaching me just patience and consistency and discipline and showing up, which are lessons that I need in my life anyway. So it's all beautiful. It's all medicine. I'm grateful for it all. I was a little resistant to share that here, but I'm like, this is real and true and honest for me right now. And I want to share what's alive. So that's where I'm at on my health journey. Beyond that, this month, I have officially started DJ school. If you watched the last episode, I had my now DJ instructor, Tasha Blank, on talking about the program, talking about essentially it is a somatic DJ / leadership program where I'm learning the DJ skills, but I'm also learning how to utilize dance music as a way to transform dance floors and to curate really intentional experiences on the dance floor. Being back in school has definitely brought more structure into my weekly life. As an entrepreneur, someone who has their own business, I've got the podcast, I have consulting clients, I have a handful of projects that I'm working on at any given time, and now I have 2 classes a week in addition to homework, in addition to practice. And so it has forced me really to get more strategic in terms of what my daily schedule looks like and really prioritizing my time and mapping out in a day, what do I want my days to look like? What is important to me? Getting in my daily walk, practicing my DJ skills, taking care of my clients, and not neglecting my own business as well. So that has brought with it a whole new set of challenges that I am excited to continue to iterate on and figure out and get into a flow and a routine with. But this last month really has felt so nourishing. I have taken a pause on dating. I'm not as social in terms of hanging out with friends without purpose. I have definitely just been prioritizing my very, very close friends and family in terms of people that I have time to see. And I've been kind of habit stacking with that. So if I'm going to see a friend, I'm like, hey, let's go on a walk. I'm trying to do my best to make sure that every interaction, everything that I'm doing is in devotion to this new life that I'm building. Every time I make a decision, I ask myself this question. I say, will saying yes to this thing be in devotion to or a distraction from my highest good, my higher self, what I'm working towards? Right now, I am working towards being the hottest, healthiest, happiest, most balanced and disciplined version of myself I've ever been. By the end of this year, my intention is to be in the best shape of my life, to be a fucking DJ, to be thriving in my business, and to have so much balance with my day to day. Right now, I literally cannot tell the difference between my weekday and my weekend because I've curated this balance of every single day I'm taking care of my health, every single day I'm working on something creative, every single day I'm taking steps towards my business. And it's been this really fun game of, yeah, I don't necessarily have days off, but every day feels balanced. And depending on what's going on that day, some days I have events, some days I'm tired. I'm really tuning into what my nervous system needs, what my body needs, and making sure that every day I'm moving the needle in some area of my life that I'm desiring to have growth in. So it's been this really fun game of being in one place, getting to tap into those things and getting to play with what does this dream version of myself look like? I saw a message this morning on social media that was talking about really successful people, and it was saying they don't have good work-life balance, they have good work-life integration. And I love that because it's not about balance, right? I'm not choosing this or that. Of course, some days I'm going to just rest, and that's what my body needs, and that's fine. But on most days, I want to work. I want to put effort towards my business. I want to practice DJing. I want to do these things that are going to move the needle and support me in becoming the biggest, best, most authentic and aligned version of myself. And so I feel like everything is just integration, and it's getting so good. I can already see putting in this consistency every single day, step by step. I can already feel myself stepping more and more into this next iteration of myself, and I'm so excited about that. So beyond DJ school and taking care of myself, I have really been tapping into community since I've been back in New York. As somebody who travels full time, it's very difficult to maintain relationships. It's something that I have to intentionally put work towards. And so, since being in New York, I've gotten to tap into some of the communities that light me up so much. There have actually been 4 communities that I've been tapping into really deeply and just loving what it's been giving back to me. One of them is my friend PJ's universe of stage time. This is nourishing my theater creativity bug. I've been doing personal branding work with him, so I'm a part of his team and I've been able to get back in that capacity. But this month I got to go to a couple of his shows. He is producing his first off-Broadway show that I got to go to preview of, which was incredible. And this upcoming week, he's got 2 events. And so being a part of that community has been so nourishing. And especially as a theater kid, being around people that are creative and smart and talented is just so inspiring. I'm such a proponent of you become the people you spend the most time with. And PJ is just one of those people that every time I speak to him, he inspires me to do more, be more, and step even more fully into my highest self. So that has been incredible. Another community I've really been tapping into has been my other ship community, which is a sauna cold plunge intentional space in New York City. They just opened up a new venue in Williamsburg, and I got to go to a couple of preview classes there. I had one of the co-founders on the podcast a few months ago, Robbie, and I actually got to meet the final 2. So I met Robbie on the podcast. I met Miles in Miami, and I got to meet Harry and Amanda, who are the 2 other founders, here for the opening of Williamsburg. And right before the opening, which was another community that I've been really a part of, which is Daybreaker and Other Ship had a collab event where they did one of their sauna raves in the new Williamsburg location, which was so incredible to get to be a part of these 2 communities. So with Other Ship, I am what's called a co-pilot. So I do social media work for them. I promote them. I share about what they do, and I help get people in the door. With Daybreaker, Daybreaker. I am what's called a mischief maker. These are just clever names for their volunteers and support staff. But for this Daybreaker event, this was over 200 people. I got to go early, help with setup, and then I was an official hugger at the door. So for this 200-person sauna rave party, I stood at the door and got to greet and hug every single person that entered the door. I was exhausted by the end of it, but so nourished and so full of just love and gratitude. And again, as somebody who travels full time, getting to volunteer and be a part of these communities, not just go to these events, but actually be a part of the creation and the curation of these experiences, to get to give my energy in that way has been so freaking nourishing and beautiful. And that was incredible. There's another Daybreaker event happening this Saturday that I'll also be volunteering with, which I'm so excited about. And just so grateful to have these communities that as I'm traveling around and as I tap back into certain places, I get to support and be a part of and see people. And the fourth community, which is a new one, is my DJ instructor who's on our last episode, Tasha Blank. I am supporting her with personal branding as well. She's one of my three current clients. I'm working with PJ, Tasha, and the founder of Orange Theory, who was also on my podcast, looking at how every single person that I'm now working with has been on my podcast, and just recognizing how incredible of a tool this platform has been for building connections and networking and learning about new people and having them learn about me and sharing that energy. Tasha is not based in New York City either, but she's been in New York the same duration as me. And so we've been meeting up as we're gearing up to begin our work together on her personal branding stuff. A couple weeks ago, we went to a mutual friend's dance class in New York City. Nico Allen, who teaches this incredible five rhythms class on Monday nights. It is just one of these New York staple, incredible experiences that every time I come, I absolutely have to do. And so her and I met up before and went to that class together. And she hosted a workshop later that week, which I also got to volunteer for, and stood at the door and greeted everybody as they came in. This one was cool because it was people that I met from Daybreaker, that I met from Othership, that I met from summer camp, from all these walks of life, and just seeing how my worlds are colliding. It's so cool when you don't live somewhere, but you're recognizing and you're bumping into and you're realizing that you're continuously in the same spaces with the same people. I feel like it's reminders from the universe. Okay, you're in alignment, you're in the right place. So the DJ program that I'm doing is called PhDJ. And I am in the fourth cohort of this, which means that there are three cohorts before me, which means that there are three other groups of people that have been through the entire process and are now working DJs in New York City. And so when I was volunteering at Tasha's event, I got to meet some of the other PhDJs and just really recognizing that, as I started ecstatic dance years and years ago, it was one of those moments where I got to join a community and I just felt so aligned. I was like, oh, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I feel like as I'm stepping deeper, deeper into my purpose and clicking even more and more and getting more and more niche, now with the DJing, I'm realizing there's this whole new community that has just opened up to me that I'm so excited to get to be a part of, particularly this New York scene of PhDJs that, this girl was telling me. She's like, oh, we've got a WhatsApp group of all these people that are DJing around the city, and we all go and support each other, and we've all been through this program together. So it's almost like a college alumni kind of vibe. I'm so excited to get to be a part of that and to have that community open up for me. And I keep attuning it to plant medicine, right? When you say yes to plant medicine, the journey really begins the moment that you say yes. All of these things start to unlock and click into place. And I feel like since I've said yes to PhDJ, so many things have started to click into place and unlock in unimaginable ways. Fast forwarding to this past weekend, I went to go see Lincoln Jesser play on a rooftop in New York City. So now this is my third city that I've seen him in. I interviewed him last month in Nashville. We got to meet and connect. Then I got to see him on the rooftop in Chicago, which I told you guys about in the last episode. And then I saw that he was going to be here again. So I went to go see him, and I went by myself. And it was one of these moments where I get to the show and immediately his manager recognizes me because he and I started following each other on Instagram this past summer through another one of his clients. long story, but he sees me in the crowd and he's like, "Oh my God, we've never actually met in person. It's so good to meet you." And so we start chatting and we're connecting. I get to meet his other manager. And I'm like, on this night, I'm literally at like 30% energy. I'm so tired, but I knew that I was meant to be at the show. So I pulled it together and went to the show. And immediately when I got there, it was so clear why I was meant to be there. I spent the entire night obviously enjoying Lincoln's show, but networking and connecting with his managers. And then at one point, these girls came up to me in the crowd out of nowhere and they were like, "Oh my God, I love your energy. Like, who are you?" They just felt drawn to me. And I come to realize that they were the two female openers that opened for Lincoln. And I started chatting with them. And I was just like, okay, universe, I see what's going on. I told them that I just started DJ school and they were like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited for you." And I'm just like, once you say yes, doors start opening. And it was just one of those moments where I was like, oh, I'm so exactly where I'm meant to be. After his show, I got invited back to the green room, and the green room was literally Lincoln, his girlfriend, his two managers, and his two openers, and then me. And I was just like, again, one of those moments where I'm like, what is going on? And also, of course, and me and these girls had so many different synchronicities, and it was just alignment, 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 alignment. Thank you, universe, more please. So that was Sunday night. Throughout this process, there's another girl that I met on the dance floor last year at Daybreaker who wasn't going to join PhDJ, but then I saw her at the practice and last minute after a conversation with me, she decided to pull the trigger. In terms of friendships, there's people that you are connected to because of proximity. And a big one is the people that you're connected to because you're in the same stage and chapter of life. And it doesn't mean that certain people aren't your close friends, but it just means that in different chapters, you're going to have different people that you gravitate towards for different reasons. And throughout this chapter, again, it's only been 2 weeks, but it's been so amazing to just see what types of people I'm attracting into my sphere, and connecting with this friend has been so amazing. And I'm so excited. So, this program is going to be 8 months. And I can already envision where we're going to be 8 months from now. And it's just so, so, so exciting. So, those are all the major updates from these last few weeks. Feeling really, really grateful and excited for what's coming up. I have a few things on the menu for the next coming weeks, and they're all very, very different. So, I'm not exactly sure where the end of September, early October is going to take me, but I will give you all the update next episode. And until then, I encourage everybody to tune into what your word is for this next month. We're now at the end of September, so we've got October, November, December. What are you calling in for these last 3 months of the year? What are you desiring to step into? We don't have to wait until New Year's to make these resolutions. I invite everyone who's listening to think about what you're desiring by the end of 2025, coming into 2026. I'm so excited to be on this journey with you all, and I will catch you on the next episode.